so now the question is what to work on next. How do I define a project scope? Well, first and foremost, what do I want to do? What is a reasonable scope for this? And, you know, I don't know, man. You have these days where you are just on top of everything and you feel great, and then the next day you just have no idea what you're doing. So I guess I'll just have some ideas here. And then I guess we can search. So for example, no. I've been really interested in MLX, for example. This is essentially PyTorch or NumPy, but completely optimized for Apple Silicon. It is a very new repository. A lot of it's done in C++ and Metal, which is Metal is essentially CUDA, but for Apple's chips, which would be interesting. So one thing that I quite liked about MLX from Apple is that, the chips specifically have unified memory, which means that you don't need to, as they say, you don't need to transfer data. So what is this? You can use the supported device types without transferring data. So what does this mean? This means in a typical setting. So what this means is that in a typical setting, in PyTorch, for example, in PyTorch, if you have, let's say, your model here, and your model is hosted on your GPU, and you have your data, let's say this is a tensor, batch size 32, height, width, 3 channels. Let's say this is image data, and this is hosted on your CPU. What you have to do in order to feed the data into your model as a forward pass and get an output, you either need to convert your data and send it to the GPU, or you need to send your model to the CPU, which, I mean, obviously you wouldn't do this because it's going to be a lot slower for the forward pass, but you have to make sure that your model and your data are hosted on the same like memory, the same device, as PyTorch will say. So if you call model.device in Python, this will return, let's say, CUDA 0 as a string, and this is how you know where your model is hosted. But because Apple's chips are in a unified memory model, you can literally have model on your GPU, which I don't know how they call it because it's not CUDA, and your data can be on CPU. I doubt this is the syntax, but bear with me. And you can do model data. You can send it as a forward pass and then get an output, and there will be no problem. So that's really nice. That's really cool, and very nice. So I've been quite interested in doing something like that, or at least working on MLX. Issue is I don't have anything that's Apple Silicon, so that immediately makes an issue for me that I would have to like buy a Mac Mini or something like that to get this working, or to at least get something working. But I'll have to consider that. So this is So I'll keep ideas here. And then what we will do is I will box off MLX and then pros and cons. So pros for me is that this would be, I would contribute to a repo that's maintained. Cons, I need money for Apple chips. Badge. All right. Now, obviously, this is going to be a huge pro for me. And this is actually what I'm hoping. This is kind of going to be the bare minimum for whatever I work on next, because for so long I've been just kind of building out my own projects, and that's great and all, and it's a lot of fun, but it gets to a point where I want to contribute to something that's a bit larger and really test myself outside of the work I usually do, which is contributing to a larger code base that I'm a lot more familiar with. And there's plenty of challenge in contributing to a code base you know really well. But I do want to take that next step and challenge myself in something I don't know at all. So MLX is promising. I will need to, again, potentially buy like a Mac Mini or something, and then go from there. Meta, so Facebook AI research. So Facebook research has so many cool projects. But the question is, what can I contribute to? What is there a lot of one-off models that the only pull request they may accept is like bug fixes, minor things, not necessarily building out features. Now this was really cool. This paper that just came out recently, which I found very very cool. I do want to go through the paper on video. I haven't had time to read the paper though, to kind of give a meaningful explanation of this, but what they propose here is kind of like an unsupervised feature learning for video, which I do think is a more meaningful step towards machine-based understanding as opposed to machine-based generation. So I would need to go through this if I wanted to do the paper review. But in terms of, issues, this is still a very new repository. So I don't know I wouldn't know how to navigate something like this. Usually I would want something with a few more issues that's raised. That way I can really just kind of dive headfirst. But we will see. So maybe JEPA. Pros, I would say being a new repo is both a pro and a con. Can contribute more. But a con would be that it is I would have to locate the issues. Now, this isn't necessarily the worst con on the planet, so I might prioritize this a bit more. It's just that it will be uh, it will be a bit more difficult to actually locate issues, because then I would really have to go through the code. And again, this is just the network itself. I don't think there's any. This isn't like a toolbox or anything that is intended to be scaled per se, or have new features. So just model repo. I don't know what else is there. Hold on. I have been, so maybe not MLX specifically, but I would like to work on something that is, I guess, a bit lower level. So I guess this is a pro. Uh, Lower level, more hands-on with layers. I think it's really interesting and really fun to build out like the lowest level of like a convolutional layer, attention layer, whatever it may be. I think it's a lot of fun to build stuff out, especially on the driver side. So like Apple Metal, CUDA, whatever it may be. So I think this is something that that may be worth a consideration. Let's switch the. Yeah, Xformers is really cool. I had a discussion again to try to see what we can do for MPS, so Metal Performance Shaders, Apple Silicon. It seems like they may want to have a third-party repo before integrating it into Xformers. I don't think it's at 1.0 just yet. Yeah, so it's still early development. Let me make a note of this. Xformers. So this is lower level. There is custom CUDA kernels. I don't know what the cons would be. Let's see. Well, it is limited, because this is just, as the name implies, this is just custom transformers. So if there's like a new, we're not going to be working on like the Mamba architecture, the state space models, because this is just exclusively transformers. So it is limited in that capacity. Let's see. A lot of conversation around AMD RFCM, that's pretty cool. Multimodal. Let's see those. Torch Multimodal is a PyTorch library for training state-of-the-art multimodal multitask models at scale, including both content understanding and generative models. This could be kind of interesting. What are the issues? Five days ago. Okay, so there is meaningful updates here. Let's read through the documentation maybe. Torch Multimodal. Modules, transforms. What are the modules? Layers, encoders, fusions, losses, masking, optimize. The issue. With Lava. Large language. Oh, and Vision Assistant. I see. Okay, this could be interesting. I don't know what the is there a pull request for Lava already? Refactor F Lava. Is this latent diffusion? It's a pretty new model. Very new. Paper. Let's see what the paper. So let's see what this paper is doing. Is that you have a vision encoder, so you have the XV, which is the image that's fed into your vision encoder, and then it's linearly projected with W, and then you have the query, which is also projected. And then what do they use? Oh, they use clip for the image, and then what about XQ? Is that also fed into clip? And you get the. This could be. This actually could be really interesting to try. Where is? Let me. Have you worked on this to any capacity? I'm interested in picking this up if not. I mean, we could check his profile to see if he has anything. October. No, it seems like he's been busy with other things. What was his last? Yeah, so it seems like he's been busy with something else. Maybe I could pick this up. Add support for lava. And this could be interesting, actually, multimodal. And I would actually learn a lot. I've actually never played around with a multimodal network before, so um, I think multimodal might be the move. So support for lava. That'll be interesting. Then the bulk of the work for the model should be to add the LLM. A couple pointers is this and this. And then we also have a PR for rotary positional embeddings, which has it been merged yet? No, it has not. What about root mean square layer norm? And then the transform. Oh, so this is the decoder layer. And then we have the code here as well as a reference, which will be really good. All right, cool. So let's see what this guy has to say about lava. And then was Coco. Oh, this is closed already. Okay. All right, so my multimodal might be the move. That would actually be pretty cool. Uh, we have May. What's audio? Mask auto encoders. That list. Because we could also introduce something like Clap as well from Microsoft. Um, so this could also be another idea as well. Yeah, I think there's there are some worthwhile there could be some worthwhile ideas here. Let's see what he has to say about lava. If I don't get anything by like tomorrow, I might I might just do it and then introduce Flap, for example, unless they are only doing meta AI based meta AI based projects. So we'll see. Very interesting. Masked autoencoders are scalable vision learners. Meta AI definitely loves masked based approaches. This self supervised style. And I mean, I don't blame them. It is such an interesting paradigm of training. Um, yeah. So they mask stuff out and then they kind of train it um, to reconstruct. As you can see, this is looks like the reconstruction, and this is the ground truth. Yeah, it is very interesting. This kind of looks like a dog though. That's funny. But no, good, very good, very cool. All right, cool. So yeah, let's see what they say. I could start with lava, maybe introduce um, other multimodal style um, networks. So we'll see. Coco Clip. Clip was meta? Wait, was Clip meta? That's interesting. I didn't know Clip was. Oh no, it's Salesforce. Okay. So it seems like they're not so my assumption was incorrect. Wait, Flip and Blip, did they? Huh? I don't know what just happened. But okay, they have other networks as well. It's not just Alright, so this was fair. Was this also meta? Yeah, also meta. So a lot of this stuff is just their networks. Yeah. Um yeah, it could be interesting. Could be interesting. All right, so let's see what will happen. Um, yeah, I'll probably end the stream here. I don't have much else to do today, so I'll probably just end it here. Thank you for tuning in. Um, yeah, I'll see you all on Friday. Today is Wednesday, so yeah, I'll see you all on Friday. May by then I'll know what to work on, and then I think I'll just begin working on the multimodal, kind of contributing to Torch multimodal, which I think will be a very nice and fun challenge. So I will see you all on Friday. Peace.